Hi, I'm Jon Thelen. Welcome to the 2010 ICAST show in Las Vegas. You know, a lot of people have already heard about Lindy's brand new spinner rigs and crawler harnesses, but I want to tell you a little bit about them and actually show them to you. You know, we looked at this project and said, well, anybody can build a spinner, and there is no doubt about it. There's a lot of spinners on the market. But what we wanted to do was build a spinner that all the guys were tying when they were tying them on their own. And you know what that meant was we had to use the highest quality components, and we had to really do something different that catches more fish. So here's what we did. Number one thing is we used 14-pound fluorocarbon. What I want you to understand about the use of fluorocarbon is it's not just because it's more invisible to fish, but fluorocarbon is a little bit stiffer line. And with that stiffness, if you got somebody in the back of the boat dragging a bottom bouncer, you don't have to worry about reeling up and having as many clusters as what you've been used to in the past, because this stiffer line is going to stay straighter back there. The second thing we did is we wanted to make sure to keep line twist out of the equation. So we've included a no snag swivel on every single one of these. It's pre-tied right on there. Now this is a 6-foot long snell, so if you're in a situation where you want to run a shorter snell, you certainly can. You can just clip it off and put that no snag swivel at 3 feet, 4 feet, whatever you want. But we found 6 feet to be the perfect length with a fluorocarbon snell, which is a line that sinks a little bit, the blade that actually lifts it a little bit, and working behind a bottom bouncer, which is 9 inches to a foot tall. That's why that length is chosen. And that length proved in testing to be the best length we could come up with as far as fish just loving it. The next thing we did is we really looked hard at hooks. And we decided to use a number 2 octopus style hook, but we stretched out the length in between the hooks a little bit so that any of those fish that were short biting your night crawler on the harnesses before, they're not going to be able to get away with that nearly as often. If they eat up halfways on the crawler, they're going to have a hook in their mouth. We put a quick change clevis on so that if your buddy's on one side of the boat catching more fish than you and you want to just quick switch out a blade to try to catch him quick, you can just do that. You can switch that blade out without having to go through the hassle of changing the whole rig. Here's the next thing we did, and probably the most important part of this thing, is we looked at using the blades and the beads in conjunction to build a spinner rig and a crawler harness that mimics the bait fish in your body of water. Most spinner rigs you see out there have, you know, a series of 5 or 6 orange beads or 5 or 6 yellow beads. But realize if you put a spinner over the side of the boat and you watch it pull in the water, that blade's spinning and it's giving off color and flash, but the beads are very, very prominent in the color scheme. So what we did was we built the beads in conjunction with the blade colors to get us to a point where we're perfectly matching that bait fish. So what we have is alewife, shad, perch, rainbow trout, natural perch, shiner, purple smelt, redtail, fathead, golden shiner, tulipy. The idea was all of these bead patterns are different, all of the blades are different, therefore we are matching these bait fish perfectly. I don't believe there's a walleye in the world that gets up in the morning and says, I'm going to go find me a night crawler to eat. What I do believe is that night crawler is the action in the scent. What they're really tuning in on is that spinner and the bead patterns. We've added the bead pattern to the equation. We're just plain and simply catching more fish with it. I'm really excited to tell you that these are available right now. You can look at them at lindyfishingtackle.com. You can buy them there, or some retailers are already putting them in, and soon they're going to be in all retailers. Here's what's great too. All of this, all these quality components, a $2.99 price point. You can't buy all this stuff and build your own when you factor in your time for that kind of money. When I was fishing the circuit, I would have loved to have just been able to buy these spinners and just be able to fish them, because this is exactly what we were all tying in parking lots. Give the new Lindy Spinner rig and crawler harnesses a try. I guarantee you're going to be happy with the results.